Assalamualaikum.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 36th edition of our Lunch Talk program. Okay, this program is a collaboration between the Faculty of Education at the Universitas Islam International Indonesia and the American Institute for Indonesian Studies, IFIS. My name is Lukmanul Hakim, and I will be your moderator for today. Present with us today, our keynote speaker, Professor Khalid Arar, and also the Dean of the Faculty of Education of the UIII, Professor Nina Nurmila, our two department heads, Dr. Babang Sumintono and Dr. Tati Wardi. We are also joined by our fellow lecturers, Associate Professor Dr. Charina, Dr. Destina, Dr. Andar, Dr. Alpa, and also the faculty staff, Mas Sofian, Mbak Afra. We are
Professor
also
Zudi
honored.
also here.
Oh, Prof. Judy also here. Welcome, Prof. Okay, we are also honored to have colleagues from our American Institute for Indonesian Studies, Bapak Anas, I believe, yeah. And of course, all our beloved students of UIII and all audiences. Thank you for attending this program. And before we begin, we are pleased to first welcome the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Professor Nina Nurmila, to deliver an opening speech. Prof. Nina, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Pak Lukman. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone in Indonesia, and good evening for Dr. Khalid Arar. I would like to thank you very much for your kindness to accept our invitation to be the speaker of our lunch talk. This is the 36th lunch talk, the final lunch talk in the 2024. Yeah, it has been like 3 years now. Because our university is still new, we only started to operate in September 2021 during the pandemic, and we started our first semester online, and then the second semester up until now, we conduct our teaching and learning on campus. Yeah, so our students live in the dormitory. Yeah. I would like also to acknowledge that this lunch talk is being supported by IFIS, American Institute for Indonesian Studies. Pak Anas Bentari might have already here, so he will be in touch with you shortly after our talk. After this, Dr. Khalid Arar. And the topic today is very timely. We are talking about we are talking much about artificial intelligence, the machine that can help humans a lot, yeah, in many different ways. And our question is how we can take advantage of this machine, yeah, artificial intelligence, ethically, yeah. And as the topic today is that also the use of AI for the future of educational leadership, which is also the expertise of Dr. Lukman, the moderator for today. I think that's all my opening speech, and I'm very much looking forward to listening to your speech today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Prof. Nina.
Okay.
Okay, now let's move to the next agenda, ladies and gentlemen. Our topic today is very engaging, timely, and also curiosity-provoking. It's about the symbiotic interaction between humans and machines. More specifically, we will be discussing AI and its impact on educational leadership in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, AI has made a significant contribution across various fields. For example, in the field of research, finding a research gap used to require a very long time. Now, tools like Scopus AI can efficiently assist in identifying them and significantly reduce the time needed. And another example is in the field of human resource recruitment, my field. Recruiters used to spend a lot of time reviewing curriculum vitae to find gaps in candidates' qualification, but now AI can help identify them more efficiently. Okay, now how about in the field of leadership? It is intriguing to learn how AI can contribute to leadership, particularly in educational leadership. And what about the ethical consideration of using AI in educational leadership? I think that is very interesting to know. To explore this further, we are honored to have Professor Khalid Arar from the College of Education at Texas State University with us today. Professor Khalid Arar is a distinguished scholar in educational leadership with decades of experience across the Middle East, Europe, and also North America. And Professor Arar's work on equity, diversity, and social justice has illuminated global challenges in K-12 and higher education. His contributions as a researcher, educator, and advocate for marginalized groups continue to inspire change worldwide. Professor Aras is an associate editor for the International Journal of Leadership in Education, Middle East regional editor of the Journal of Education Administration and History, and also the author of several influential books, including Migrants, Refugees, and Global Challenges in Higher Education. That is very good CV, Professor Khalid Arar. Professor RR, your time for presentation will be 50 minutes, okay? And after that, we will have question and answer sessions. Now, without further ado, please join with me giving a warm welcome to Professor Khalid RR. Prof, the screen is yours.
Pak Lukman, could we have a group photo first before going to the
Sure,
talk? Thank you.
sure. Mas Sofian, can you please help us with photo
Yes, you can
session?
open your camera, students and participants, for us to take photos.
Give your biggest smile. Cheers. One,
Three,
two, three.
1, 2, 3.
One more time, Mas.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Is it enough?
3, 2, 1. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Enough, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Mas Sofian. Now, Professor Ara, the screen is yours. Please, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for both the invitation, Professor
Walaikum
Nina
salam.
and Dr. Lukman and Professor Bambang. Thank you for introducing me. I would like to add to this introduction that since last year, I am the editor-in-chief for leadership and policy in schools. And within this invitation, I've tried to transform the journal in terms of its representation. So one of the first key persons I invited to join the editorial board it was Dr. Bambang, and to assist on like spreading leadership, because one of the key arguments that I've been arguing in my scholarship is that the outlet of publications and the Anglophonic publication speaks to up to 9% of the human population, whereas Asia is not there. India is almost so. So there's a huge population that we are not speaking to throughout our research and publication. And I think that we are very like in the beginning, only 1 year, but we are starting to do like a good work on enhancing participation. So I treat this as a welcome to consider future submission to LPC, Leadership and Policy in Schools. Okay. And you will see also that this relate to this much relate to this presentation. Oh, so today I'd like to speak about human-machine symbiosis and the possibilities of human and human-machine, collaboration in our work, both as educators, as educators of educators, as scholars. And I'd like first to invite you to think on key questions that does AI integrate in education? So what key questions does AI integration education raises for educators and scholars? So, and how do your values shape your perspective on integrating AI in education? And what are the desired outcomes of this reciprocal collaboration between humans and AI? And how can AI be effectively adapted for research and professional development, and the challenges and the opportunities this integration might, provoke? So you can capture this slide. And please, if you want to add your comments on the chat room, so I would identify your name. But if you want, I want to open these questions to public for the 5 minutes, and then I'll move forward.
So is there?
Okay.
Please raise your hand.
Yeah. Yes.
If you do, please raise your hand. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody wants to comment on? If you like, I can add the questions on the chat room. So. And I want to also stress here that unlike different keynotes of the scholar presenting his book and himself and inserting, what he has done so far, as if the audience have done nothing, but no, this is not my approach. My approach is invitational, and I am in a co-learning space where I can learn. Here are the questions that I bought. Anybody wants to share insights in the chat room or share insights in public for any of the following questions? You can even skip the order of the questions, but just to share your insights. 5 minutes on sharing your responses. And then you can still use the chat room to share your responses. Thoughts, drops on possibilities, opportunities of using AI, or you might want to share how you considered or been using AI so far. Thoughts, any answer? Yeah, I'm seeing questions about ethical considerations. I'm seeing, Prab, on student selection, AI detection, a good tool for selection process. How about the ethical considerations? How to use AI ethically in our academic work? Yeah, please continue. Yes, these are very good questions. Honestly, yeah. Bias and fairness. Yeah, how to use AI ethically in academic work? Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I believe I'll move forward on in answering these questions. And in doing so, I wanna go back to where schools has been started. So the nowadays, current public schools being started within the industrial revolution. So this is the school that we knew. Then the world shifted from the industrial revolution to the knowledge revolution, and from the knowledge revolution to the knowledge technology revolution, and then to digital literacy, and then to AI, artificial intelligence nowadays. Where are schools on these paradigms shifts? How education looks like, what we need to center in education. Are we going to push back on these changes, ban the use of artificial intelligence in the digital literacy era, or not? If not, then how are we gonna cope with these changes? If yes, then how are we gonna adapt AI in education, in teaching, in learning, and in meaning making, especially in ed leadership? So then the question is, how can human educational leaders and AI collaborate effectively to enhance decision-making and management in educational institutions? We got already an answer for this question where Professor Bambang just shared we can use AI in recruitment. One of the very beautiful papers that I got to leadership and policy in schools where three scholars tried to argue for using AI on principals' recruitments, educational leaders' recruitments, aiming for equity and diversity. And then, in what ways can AI computational power be utilized to rapidly analyze big data and draw meaningful conclusions for improving institutional effectiveness? One of the different uses that we presented very recently is presenting different scenarios of challenges, dilemmas, and decision-making. Run this with a group of human beings, and then run this in AI, and then comparing and contrasting. Then I want to argue for a human and AI symbiosis in education. So far, human leaders make decisions using their senses, sight, hearing, touch, smell, taste, to collect incoming information, which is then processed by brains and different systems, including attentional system, memory system, motivation system, emotional system, and cognitive system. So this is our way on collecting data, processing data, analyzing data, implying all of these systems to make a decision. AI also uses the same approach, where the term artificial resembles the way humans make decisions through their biological brains. Specifically, AI uses different sensors, cameras, microphones, etc., to collect data, and artificial neural networks, a simulation of how neurons are organized in the brain, to analyze the data and make decisions. So look at the two paragraphs, the first two paragraphs that it presented, and see the possibilities if we merge and combine the two data collection tools and processing for decision making, how sophisticated our decision making is going to be. Then, how it is possible that these technologies advancements have left learning institutions virtually and changed. With all of this, let's use, so like one of my uses, I upload for my students one paper, like my paper. I upload it in one application, and then just click it and ask to give me 20 similar papers. They're going to get it. Then give me the tacit theories that are being used. They're going to get the tacit theories. Give me their resources. They're going to get their resources. So if, when I have done my master's studies, I've been sitting in the library for many hours, copying different materials and getting access. So I'm getting this in my screen so far. So as a professor, would I use this or not? And what are the possibilities? And then the next question, can knowledge technologies genuinely transform learning institutions into effective, fair, and functioning complexes? To try to explore these questions, and I, as a learner, scholar, and in seeking answers to these questions, I co-conducted first a collective inquiry on trying to explore the symbiosis of AI and a human, then conducted another inquiry on reimagining educational leadership and management through AI, then co-leaded a special issue in rethinking educational leadership and AI that is gonna be published very soon in January. Then I collected 5 scholars who are using AI either in curriculum instruction or in ed leadership preparation or in academic teaching and learning, or for graduate and postdoc studies. With each of these 5 faculties, I asked them to search for possibilities, and they each submitted an abstract. And at UCEA, University Council of Education Administration, last conference, we did an interactive symposium of, like, we laid out some questions, and then we divided people into groups, and each group needed to meet with a professor discussing possibilities of using AI for ed leadership preparation. What are the possibilities there? And then showing them 2 possibilities. Then going to another professor who will show two possibilities of using AI for lit review and conceptualization, and another professor showing AI uses for analyzing of 20 or 30 interviews, just plugging 4 or 5 key questions, and then you get a thematic analysis. Then the other professor is presenting how to use AI for decision making. The reason I'm presenting this for you in practice, this is what the Faculty of Education at your respectful university, at your institutions can do. A symposium of co-creating and co-thinking what can be done, how could be done, and where we are at, mapping where we are at and where we want to move from there. So I didn't want to just like keep this like keynote, me giving, some insights, scholarly insights, and then just leave you, struggling with what is next. But I gave you an opportunity, and I assure you that this interactive symposium was way better than me delivering one keynote. Because everybody get out after 1.5 hours, boom, blew away. Wow, I got a lot. I need to think. Then the IRB issue popped up. A scholar from Colombia asked, if you're gonna plug interviews into this system, you are violating IRB. Yes, IRB is violated. So what are we gonna do? Maybe we need also to revisit our IRB as well. The way we co-create knowledge, the way we make research. So things need to be reimagined because we are speaking about new area. So there is a preparedness stage for AI where our role is to adapt and navigate the transformation for this use. And then the effective impact and use of AI in reshaping education and leadership depends heavily on how it is implemented and integrated. Some of you asked questions about ethical considerations. Absolutely. And we need to take care of this. Then the how it is integrated is important. And then lack of research. We are now living in a kind of a potential revolution where we have less information about this revolution. We're more of intuitive. Then we need to. So if me and Dr. Banbang and Dr. Lukman and Dr. Nina, we co-create an opportunity, a circle of thinking, but coming also prepared on possibilities, then we can co-create a space transforming our teaching, our meaning making, our research, and our education preparation for a possible, symbiotic use of AI and a human. So then, setting guidelines for practices. Some of you asked about ethical considerations. How I'm going to use this in my research? I'm going to use this in my writing up? If I use generative AI in my paper, and then systems of publications. 2 weeks ago, we have had a meeting in Tyler and Francis, speaking with editors about detecting AI uses in papers. So if you acknowledge use and cite AI, then you are meeting ethical considerations. So then the next step, I needed to cross-check sustainable development goals of the UNESCO against pertaining for quality of education against what has been published so far in terms of educational leadership and AI. So I want to share with you the insights I got from two papers that I wrote very recently. One already published in email, and the other one is about to be published. Hopefully, it's been accepted after revision. So in the first paper, we use bibliometric analysis to scope the scholarship on ed leadership and AI in terms of publications year, countries, collaborations, citations, etc. And then to explore the discourse on AI in education and leadership in terms of key word frequency trends and themes, and then the conceptual structure from the thematic mapping, and then what is the distribution of research on AI. And of course, we crossed this on the 5 sustainable development goals to see how research has been tending to these goals. For this analysis, we used Prisma, and as you can see, we captured 415 papers that been using AI and ed leadership, and then out of this and following inclusion and exclusion criteria being practiced, we ended up with analyzing 378 papers, which of course afterward we conducted a thematic analysis using AI to discuss main themes and sub-themes. So as you can see, the research in AI and ed leadership is not that new. It is not that new. It's been there, but it's been marginal. Where you see that we are getting like a high increase following 2020. And we know what happened in 2020. Higher education, higher learning systems, education systems moved very sharply towards digital literacy and online learning due to the pandemic. So this is why AI got this shift in terms of usages in different life needs. As far as to who are, the leading countries in terms of these publications. So you see USA, China, Russia, Australia, Germany, Spain, Malaysia, United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, Canada, Romania, Korea, the Netherlands, Czech Republic, Japan, Singapore, Ukraine, and Brazil. So there is a work to be done here, yes? Remember, I am, as a Palestinian American, I'm not represented here. So it is just to say that, yeah, we need to do something about this. And these were the venues that published, different publications on AI and its leadership. So these were the key terms used: digital transformation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, um, deep learning, blockchain technologies, information technology, collaborative learning, and of course, different modalities. So as far as to the keywords used, these were the main keywords used. So you can see it is around leadership in terms of knowledge, in terms of, and then performance using AI as just, when we started, as just like Dr. Bambam, just shared of how we can mine big data use in recruiting. So this is one of the performances of using AI. And then the impact of using, models of AI on decision making, and of course, models of optimization in terms of co-creating and like systemic changes in leadership. So these were the network analysis on leadership and AI and the possible collaboration that happened. And the key typologies that being detected is the following. I know that sometimes the language overlaps, but this is the best we could get from viewers. So these are the topics that been identified on this regard. If I were to read some, so we speak about competencies, recognitions, diagnosis, and then selections and job performance and algorithm, big data and validations, and of course different ethical considerations. So we tried to analyze these publications against the UNESCO's sustainable development goals. If you can see, goal number 2, which is quality education, was the most tackled in these publications. Then good health and well-being. When you speak about the research on principals' well-being, when you speak about the research on teachers' well-being, when you speak about the research on students' well-being. So this is one of the UNESCO's, sustainable development goals. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So these were the topics. So you will see the the number of the sustainable development goal, and then how it's being tackled on the research. Do we have enough research on poverty? No. Do we have enough research in access for underprivileged, students? No. Here, zero hunger and poverty. I mean, these were, less present. Gender equality as an issue, very marginal tackle. So then we will move to discuss the main themes identified in the second paper that we co-created. As I've said, I mean, we've been out as a team learning. So we classified the literature on the thematic analysis, trying to answer the following two questions. One, what are the main strategies, frameworks, and opportunities of AI in educational leadership? And here, as an answer for this question, we got ample of papers classified under speculative use cases. So there is no, let's say, planned, guided curriculum in using AI, but it was speculative. And then other papers spoke about preparation for integration. And purposefully, I listed the papers here. So just like if anybody wants to dig into and learn, what are the main challenges and risks of AI in educational leadership? So these were the papers that spoke about challenges, and these are the papers that spoke about risk. But I will now move into discussing, thematically, not just like listing, names of authors, of, the findings emerged from these themes. So theme number one on speculative use cases, the major topics were personalized learning, where I do use AI for personalized learning, either in K-12 education or in higher education. One of the changes, for example, that my university now did for the grad, for the master's and doctoral studies, they now allowed for 20% of independent study. Whereas a student, I might approach Professor Lokman, and Professor Lokman will assign me an independent course. Contributing to my methodological understanding of my dissertation, or an independent course contributing to my understanding of the different tacit theories I'm going to use for my dissertation, etc. So this is where AI used as personalized learning, AI tutors and assistants, automation of administrative tasks. When we speak about equity in recruitment, we can use AI as administrative tasks. The principles in one of the research we have done a few years ago, an average principal makes almost 1,000 decisions a day. He can easily use AI and then keep his energy or her energies into dealing with human dilemmas. Then examples of applications. Adaptive course materials. I can upload now my syllabus, my teaching syllabus, and ask AI for possible improvement to my syllabus. I can ask AI to probe different case studies to discuss with students following their readings. And I will get case studies. And I will ask to have these case studies coming specifically from Asia, or from Malaysia, or from Indonesia, or from the US space, where it is easily, but this makes learning interactive. And this makes learning, and I can ask students, read this text and come up as a group with a case discussion on this and that. So they are engaged in the learning process, emotional state and mentoring, and writing assistance throughout this usage. So as far as to personalized learning, as you can see, we can adapt this to personalized knowledge level, learning speeds and goals, and of course, using biometric data for assessing effective computation. And these are the research highlights that we got for like using each of the above. So if you want to go and explore different possibilities of personalized learning, we got you the right papers that discuss this. So you can look at this. Okay, you can go down speculative cases, you can go down to these papers. And then AI to tools and assistant. And the key points, AI to tool guided instructions with AI agents, AI assistant and human AI, dialogue for support tasks like essay writing. And here are the notable studies. And then comes automation of administrative tasks, examples of applications. So let's say that Professor Lokman is teaching, ed leadership preparation course. He would go and look into automation of administrative tasks and examples, looking at these different examples, and then teach these different examples in the course that he is going to design. How we can use AI for grading, how we can use AI for attendance, what are the applications there, how we can use AI for tracking and curriculum development, scheduling, budgeting, and allocating, and then transportation. I've been shared that 3 airports nowadays globally uses AI for our luggages, locations, and the mistakes were zero mistakes. This is just like an example where we know like the percentage of mistakes that, like the possibilities that you're gonna miss your case if you travel American Airlines, for example, is 12%. Huge. So then theme number 2, preparation for integration. How we're gonna integrate AI usage on ed leadership programs. And these are the theories explaining this research, like grounding these researches, and then the framework and examples of this technology usage and innovation. Data mining for actionable insights, organizational management, AI transforming instructional structures, and leadership. So, and then what are the challenges and concerns, the barriers of integration, and of course, the different ethical risks that we're gonna deal on adopting AI. Biases, loss of human touch in decision-making, privacy, transparency, and of course, these are part of the studies that discuss these topics. So let's stop for a while what I'd like you, following listening to this address so far, to think about possibilities and opportunities. How can AI be utilized to enhance your work as a professor or educator of educators, particularly in fostering innovation and improving teaching practices? Then, current use. What AI tools or technologies are you currently using in your work, and how have they impacted your teaching, research, or administrative tasks? Challenges. What challenges or barriers do you face in integrating AI into your professional practice, and how might uh, these be addressed to maximize its potential? You can capture this slide because I want to go back to full screen where can I see your faces if anybody wants to share insights into the following three main prompts. Also, I will copy and paste these prompts into the chat room so that you can still see them while we are discussing these three questions. Thoughts, prompts, insights? Anybody want to share?
Can I share, Prof?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm basically a researcher in Indonesian Researcher Institute, and I get the benefit of using Scopus AI to find the literature review and to find the research gap. I used to spend so many hours in finding the research gap, but these days with the Scopus AI and also Typeset AI, they provide us with the latest trends and the latest issues that, yeah, it shorten our time very much actually. I think that this will be very useful for us. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. This was an excellent example where it can what Professor Lickman just like shared is that, I mean, it can take you hundreds of hours, to identify a gap in literature, or like imagine all the topics that we want to come, like Dr. Nina is inviting me to discuss this and that issue. So sometimes I'm coming blank. I know nothing about. So if this is not uh, part of my research topic, if it is not part of my like endeavor or daily engaged practices, then I almost come to the discussion knows nothing. Where, as Dr. Lukman just shared, using Scopus AI for identifying the gap in knowledge or the gap in theory is a huge tool to come up with innovative researchers and sharpening your research questions. So instead of spending the time on searching what is the gap, you get the gap, but then you will spend the time on sharpening your research questions and enhancing your inquiry, and of course, learning and collecting the needed data, etc. So you understand? So it's also like a time, like an effective time mining tool. Yes, Dr. Bambang also shared when designing new courses, AI helped much in terms of identifying important topics, compare to read handbook, Google Scholar, etc. Absolutely, absolutely. And there are different applications that we will see in the lecture where you can use, and it can take the students to endless places of learning and getting deeper, where instead of lecturing, we co-create, we co-think, and students are more of engaged in the learning, engaged in their exploration. Any other insight? Well, this was excellent. These were excellent, good ideas, and of course we need to try more. As just like Professor Nina said, we need to spend more time on exploring the possibilities and then different usages and how this can transform our world. So I wanna discuss the symbiosis and what are the possibilities. So the key AI technologies is I mean, the strength of AI is the possibility of data analytics and machine learning. And this is huge. We can't neglect this. However, we cannot overuse this and then eliminate the human decision-making process. So then using the two competencies, this of the human and the artificial intelligence, is the symbiosis that we seek to, where this will transform, our spaces in terms of like decision making, where most of the time will be spent on possibilities, challenges, possible, reactions, instead of trying to find the decision. So, for example, I can use AI for research purposes and educational leadership use. So, if in programs of masters in ed leadership or doctoral studies in ed leadership or in education, we can teach AI-driven decision making. And there are applications to do so. Then developing AI competencies for leaders. AI in educational policy and strategies uses. And then AI and ethical leadership. AI for professional development, barriers to AI adoption in education, and AI enhancing students' outcomes, and leadership styles and AI integration, AI for inclusive education, AI-powered educational analytics. We can have X applicants for a faculty position where our needs are 1, 2, 3, 4. Easily we can detect the three most suitable applicants and then discuss their applications on depth, instead of spending our time discussing, Our last call for a position at Texas State, we have had 48 people applied. We need to dig into each vita, each scholarly work, each where easily I took my doctoral research assistant and asked the committee to give me the opportunity of sending them an analysis on who fits more our criteria and needs. And then they got to discuss six applicants and not 48. So something happened to my PPT. I just missed it. Okay. And then teaching graduate programs of ed leadership. These are the different usages that we can use. We can use AI for collaborative projects. We can use AI to discuss different ethical considerations on decision making or enhance effectiveness on this regard. And then AI in principles preparation and development. These are the different, usages that we can use in principles development. And then as you can see, and I want to conclude here, and if needed, if Professor Nina and Dr. Bambang, just agree with this, because I don't want to show up as somebody is selling products. I'm avoiding this. I can send them like a list of usages for each of the different slides I just presented, like different, applications to use, and who is free, what application is free, what is like for like a yearly or monthly paid, or so then. But I didn't want to, like, purposefully, I didn't want to present this in a keynote, because this would be considered also as like a selling product, which I want to avoid. AI offers transformative opportunities for educational leaders, enhancing education and outcomes. However, its adoption requires caution due to potential risks of co-destruction rather than co-creation, highlighting the need to carefully address associated challenges. Embrace digital transformation within education and instructions nowadays is key. We shifted to digital literacy. This is exactly why I am now delivering this keynote address while being based in Texas, where you are now in Indonesia. Without this tool, we couldn't use this space. And then raising awareness and developing regulatory frameworks and policies, governmental policies, institutional policies on potentials on AI usages, and of course, fostering a culture of AI in education. So Professor Nina, Professor Lokman, Professor Bambang, I don't want to but I'm just like I'm sharing insights. You can tomorrow co-create a committee discussing this, and then following this committee to come up with CLEs like community learning exchange, where you make 3 circles: a circle with decision makers at the university or the faculty, and then a circle with curriculum instructors, and then another circle with students, graduate students, and then seeking and discussing different possibilities, where everyone comes to these circles a bit of prepared. And then out of this, we can decide where we are heading to, and then co-create regulation, maintaining ethical usages, etc. So this culture should address AI principles, ethics, and best practices. Simultaneously, ethical and regulatory frameworks must be protected, protect users' privacy, and establish clear legal responsibilities, such as determining accountability in AI-related errors. Of course, further research is needed in this regard. Future research to explore the intersection of AI and leadership, focusing on terminology, concepts, and global perspective, particularly in the underrepresented regions. This is one, theoretical contributions that highlight the development of theories around factor-driving AI adoption in educational leadership, addressing cross-country collaboration, cross-cultural collaboration, ethical framework, and regulatory disparities. And of course, providing a comprehensive view of AI in educational leadership, revealing key dimensions to guide theoretical framework development. And seeking to learn about the practical impact emphasizes the careful implementation of AI to enhance decision-making and align education leadership within humanistic 21st century goals. As far as the Sustainable Development Goals, identify the role of the AI in achieving specific UN SDGs, such as gender equality and reducing inequality by 2030. Leadership role advocates for a redefinition of educational leadership, positioning it as central to transforming education into a collaborative humanistic enterprise, leveraging technologies. And of course, facilitative leadership, proposing a leadership model that fosters participation, values diversity, and supports systems innovation. So we need to know that with upcoming job applications, we will have some of the requirements will be listed as of AI usages, either for professors in the academy or for administrators or district superintendents. Then this will be another quality that will be validated in recruitment and selections criteria.
Excuse me, Prof.
And yes.
I think the time is up, I believe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, time, okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, give me just 1 minute, I will conclude. So the key takeaways that I want to emphasize that AI offers transformative potential, but comes with significant challenges. Strategic leadership and thoughtful implementations are critical. Among the recommendations, prioritize training and resources, and I already discussed some possibilities together that you can co-create this space, address ethical concerns proactively, foster a balance between technology and human values. If you want to read further into this, the upcoming special issue in leadership and policy in schools is going to deal with AI, reimagining education and leadership in the AI era. We got very good papers, like Professor Hallinger wrote a paper on using scenarios in education and leadership preparation along with Siddharth Gumoosh. We got very excellent papers from, I think that Adam from Melbourne, also Donny Adam, contributed the paper. So you can look at this special issue for further reading, which covers, different topics throughout 10 papers that we invited. Here are some of my own publications. And of course, it's time for questions, prompts, thoughts, reflections. And of course, my presentation is available. I have shared it with the team and they are free to share it with you. So no secrets. You can have it and you can enjoy also using it. And speaking about AI usage and ed leadership, I never used AI for preparing my PPT, which I could do in one click. So me speaking about using AI, I needed my own touch on creating my PPT and not AI touch. So, I'm still juggling. Sure. Okay. Professor Lokman, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Khalid Arar. Now it's time for question and answers. Please, I invite audience 3 questions. Please raise your hand using the Zoom tools.
There are questions in the chat box, Pak.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is there anybody who wants to speak directly before we move to the one in the chat box?
Can I share my opinion?
Oh, sure, please.
Yes.
Para, this is Ibu Charina, one of our lecturer.
I'm sorry because I cannot turn off the camera since I'm using the handphone. Thank you so much, Prof. That is very insightful. So just want to share my humble opinion in relevance to AI. For me, AI is very helpful, especially when I want to discuss research, I would like to discuss my research with AI, since it is, makes it easier for me to guide things that I need to cross-check later on. So in short, my educational background is in psychology, and now I'm working in education environment, and I need to draw psychology further into education. But what I would like to highlight about discussing with AI, since I am learning about human behavior, it not gives me, insight, but also AI somehow it motivates me. So I highlight, since I'm, learning human behavior, I, interesting of how AI respond to each question. It makes the respondent, just like me, not only feel convenient, but I feel that AI can give options which I could, cross-check later on without any judgment. So that is my opinion. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Ibu
Thank
Cherry.
you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Cherry. I have, and I will share with you the following insights answering your question. I have a student that approached me last year that she been thinking about making a research on principles ethical decision making.
Yeah.
And then she started with this research conventionally, where I asked her very recently, like almost a year ago, to drop different scenarios and discuss them with actual principles, and then take the same scenarios and drop them in 3 different AI tools. and seek the process of thinking and the decision making, and then take this to the actual principles as a focus group and discuss this. So, so using these tools to come back to educational leaders, according to the participants, enhanced their horizons, their innovation, they they assisted them in moving from simplistic way of tackling these scenarios to a more sophisticated way. So it enhanced their axiologies and value based on decision making, opposite to what we think, which is, oh, AI, so it's valued, not valued, ethical, not ethical. No. Discussing, how AI tackled and what are the topics that they missed made their decision more sophisticated. So I hope that this partially answers your question on the different possibilities and the ethical considerations of using AI.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. Even though I discussed with AI in the very beginning, later on, I still need to, like cross-check about the, every options that AI gives. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The same intentions and tools that you use whenever you do research or collect data. So you examine your data and you don't take any data for granted, and you cross-check and triangulate your data.
Yeah. Thank you.
Prof. Khalid, we have two questions in the chat box. First is from Tridais Repelita. He's asking Mr. Arar, if we create a journal using AI application and send it to the Scopus journal, is it okay? And the second is from Siti Rah. She's asking about what is this? How can AI tools be made accessible and affordable for underfunded educational institutions? And the second is, what are the potential risks of over-reliance on AI in education, and how can they be mitigated? And could you please share your experience on these matters? Thank you. Those are the questions, Prof.
Okay, so thank you. So as far as to the first question, yes, I mean, yeah, you are invited to create journal using AI application, and of course share this with Scopus. Absolutely. Nowadays, I can tell from under the screen, as a journal editor, anybody that writes up, like, use ChatGPT and then cite ChatGPT and which version he is being using, that's okay. As soon as far as he is citing and as far as he is acknowledging the usage, so there is no ethical consideration. However, and here is the challenge. I'd like to move to the next questions on whenever, as far as to the first question, whenever I use open access AI, then I'm violating IRB, and I'm violating FIRBA, which means whatever I share in public, then it's not mine anymore. I cannot preserve anonymity where I'm using my data in public. So this is problematic. For example, if I upload an interview to ChatGPT, then I violated the consent I used in my research, telling my interviewees that their details are not going to be identified. This is one example. And then the issue of accessibility. Yeah, when we speak about poverty, who access to these tools? and who can pay for these tools. And now within even the publication landscape where, you know, several journals are moving towards, if you can't afford it, you can't publish. It is an issue. And then who publish what? And who is more represented in terms of publications. So who can pay nowadays for open access? Typically people that are coming from very grounded and rich countries that can afford to pay, you know, the open access, um, you know, expenses. Yes, there's a huge issue of inequity on using, you know, tools that been designed for, I mean, if you don't have it, you cannot get access to it, which is very problematic. And the risks on overusing AI in education, there are lots of risks that whenever I mean, we are more of like using the AI as term of laziness, then education become superficial, where you can blog, get that, you know, parabola in math being solved in ChatGPT, or, you know, take that problem in chemistry and get it solved in ChatGPT or another tools. It is problematic. Absolutely. Absolutely. And these are some of the issues that we need to spend some time thinking about.
Thank you, Prof. Is there any questions? Is there more questions? Maybe you would like to speak directly to Prof. Arar, please raise your hand.
Dr. Lukman, if I have a
Yeah,
chance.
please,
Yeah.
Bu Tati.
Yeah, I was just following up your answer to previous answers regarding maybe access, to users. As we know, that the access to AI, there varies in terms of whether or not you pay or something for free. Do you think the fact that some of the service offered requires some sort of payment, do you think also the quality of, although it is accessible to everyone, but again, the gap will be still there because the quality of the output or the engagement you are getting from AI, it also depends on the type of subscription you're having. So I'm wondering if you're also looking at that factors when you are doing the review in your previous presentation, or probably you have some insight on that matter. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tati, for
Yes,
this
my name is
great
Tati.
question. Yes, thank you for your great question. And, you know, it's very similar to you using your research questions to get a certain data. It is very similar. If I prepare a protocol for an interview and I come to interview you, these were the scripts I used to delineate data from you as interviewee. If I come up with different scripts, I might get other answers. No? Similarly, the AI, I need to use AI very thoughtfully, understand the limitations, and of course, enhance this usage and foster complex manners of thinking on understanding as well the shortages of using AI. I hope that I answered your question. So it is similar to any limitations that we use in research or in decision making, etc. But I already shared one insight where AI used and simply zero luggages being lost in 3 airports in the world using AI, where I don't want to use AI for mass destruction. AI has been used on tracking Palestinians and killing Palestinians in Gaza. And these are part of the mass destructions of using AI, by colonials, etc. So this is another bad example. What I can tell you that the statistics from LA, Los Angeles, because they are using now taxis of AI. I believe you knew that, yes? So they detected in 6 months that these taxis made less than 1% accidents of any kind of accident. So the taxi is working with an AI, is totally automated, no human being, with minimum accidents.
My question will be probably something to do because we are in education, we're concerned about equity and giving access, and the technology sometimes give up a promise of, giving equity and some quality of education. But then AI comes in. It seems like everyone would have the access to in this advancement, but it turns out that also different quality. You have to pay. ChatGPT 4 requires you to pay. Subscribe every month, and also Gemini and things like that. So for some free features, we can receive much lower quality. That's actually my question. So whether or not this fact would also, widening the gap, and also whether or not you had a chance to see that in your own review about the use of AI in educational leadership. That's probably my question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Khalid Arad. I think the time is up, yeah. I think we'll just wrap up for today. This was a very inspiring and
Pak Lukman,
insightful
I think it
presentation.
would be better to have final remarks from Pak Khalid first, Professor Khalid
Yeah.
first, especially in response to Ibu Tati. Okay, then
Yeah.
you can close. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay,
Please, Professor.
So my final, and this is exactly why I called the title of my talk a human-machine symbiosis, where I don't want to see the AI taking decisions on behalf of a human being, where yes, I would like to see a symbiosis of a human machine and human working together for co-creating knowledge, co-creating a space for equity, valuing diversity, and enhancing inclusion. So this is my my final key takeaway. Thank you very much for this space. And thank you for interrogative questions, pushing everybody's thinking. And I hope that this talk and keynote will contribute to your future learning, future inquiry, and future co-creation. At the personal level, I'd like to see this keynote as my opportunity to co-learn with you together. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you very much, Professor Khalid Arar. Budina, you would like to say something, maybe? Closing remark?
Oh, thank you. So I just would like to let you know that this meeting is being recorded, and we'll disseminate this recording through our website and IP's website. And thank you also for my colleagues from UIN Bandung who have come, Professor Hairul and etc. Yeah, thank you very much. Have a good rest,
Thank you.
Professor Khalid
Thank you.
Arar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Arar.
Yeah. Hope
Thank you.
in the future to make it physically and not through AI, but physically to be, in your space. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, amin. Okay, once again,
Inshallah.
thank you very much, Professor Khalid Arar,
Thank
for
you, Prof.
your
Arar.
insightful presentation, and you have shown us how AI can transform educational leadership and support a future focus on sustainable development and innovative learning. And also thank you for American Institute for Indonesian Studies, IFIS, for the collaboration. Thank you for all participants, the enthusiasm, the question, the comments, everything. Thank you again. Thank you. Stay curious, get connected, and committed to building the future of education together. Have a wonderful day and see you later on the next event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih Pak Lupa.
Waalaikumsalam
Thank you,
warahmatullahi
Lupa.
everyone.
wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof.
Sama,
Arar. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Shukran.
Syukron.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih. Baik.
Alf shukr. Syukur.